Coming to you live from a hot spring. This is Optimal Play. I'm Brandon, and I am here to try the solo mode for modern classic Tokaido, the game where you are 17th century travelers traveling the Tokaido road from what is now modern day Tokyo to Kyoto, attempting to have the most fulfilling journey along the way. I thought this was a great fit for tonight because I'm recording this on Happy New Year. This is probably going up in January or around New Year's, but I'm recording this on December 23rd, Christmas Eve, and it is the start of a big storm in LA. It's just drizzling outside a little bit, but it's supposed to rain quite a few inches over the next 48 to 72 hours. It's gonna flood this place, but I have everything I need to hunker down the next few days, and just felt like something cozy. I may be dressed in my brewery shirt, my YouTube professional attire, but down here we got pajamas. We've got the Old Navy holiday attire, ready to play some cozy games and then take a book by the fireside. That's my plan for the evening. So Tokaido, I think, fits well into that. It is a modern classic game. The decisions are pretty light. There's some light set collection. Player interaction is friendly. You're mostly just kind of blocking each other from spaces you want. And the solo mode, I've tried it once off camera. It's fairly light and clever. It simulates simulates two other players who are run by Automa rule sets, traveling the road along with you. And you actually do have to be pretty thoughtful about when you take the space that you know they're going to want, because their preferences sort of organically develop. So it's pretty cool. I'm gonna play through it now and see if I can get my first win. I actually did not win my first time playing this solo mode on its normal difficulty. I should mention, Stonemaier Games provided a review copy of Tokaido for me to play, so thank you to them. I appreciate that. And it's a game I already owned, but Stonemaier put out this new edition, which has new art. It's not dramatically different. The old board also was sort of this minimalist white like this that is hopefully not blowing out my cameras too much. What I love is that it is in a smaller box. It is much narrower. And so this is a game that I don't get to the table all that often, but I like to have it in my collection because it is light and accessible, and when I do play it, I do enjoy it. So as something that's like in my collection for a good reason but doesn't hit the table very often, I appreciate the smaller size. As someone who has too many games and constantly churning things out to make more space, this makes a lot of sense, keeping it in a smaller box. So with that, Tokaido, I'm not going to teach the game here, but essentially we are going to be, I have them all starting on the wrong side over here. That's from my off-camera game. We are these traveler meeples. We're moving along the road. The game will end when everyone reaches the final inn at the end. Visiting these points of interest, the player who takes the next turn is always whoever is the furthest back. You may have played games that use a similar mechanic, so you can jump ahead nearly as far as you want, but the further you decide to move ahead on your turn, the longer it will be before your next turn. So you have to kind of be thoughtful and about that trade-off. And then the goal is to have the most points at the end. The Automa, the two solo players who will be my yellow and green players, they follow a very basic kind of range and preference card, and they rack up sets of cards and points along the way. You'll see how that works. So I'm just giving them a quick shuffle because I revealed that. They do not play one of the special traveler characters, but I do. I am Umage. She gets a bonus victory point and coin whenever she has an encounter with another traveler. So those are these pink spots on the board. I'm going to be attempting to visit as many of them as possible when reasonable and get those extra benefits. I need that money to buy food and souvenirs with, so hopefully that's worthwhile. I'm going to give these meeples a quick shuffle. The first one I drop out of my hand is going to go on this slot, which actually means they will leave last from our starting place. So that's going to be the yellow player. Next we have me, the purple player, and then green is actually going first. I'm purple because I always try to match my hair color, which it's pink at the moment, grown out pink, but always gotta match your current hair color, right? Right? Everyone does this. Yeah. So anyway, let's hit the ground running. The green player is going to go first. They each start with a coin and a victory point. And the reason they start with that victory point is because they gained that point when they gained the coin. You'll see how that works a little bit more as we go. So I'm going to start with the green player. Its range is 2, so it's going to move a maximum of 2 unoccupied spaces this turn, and it has an increased preference for the inns if it can reach them. It can't, so it's just going to move to one of these 2 spots. And in this case, if it's not specified that they have an increased preference for temples or inns, they have a decreased preference. So the green player would not go to the temple. They will go souvenir shopping. They're going to take a souvenir. It doesn't matter what it is. You actually just deal them the face down card. And the this is like a new set that they're collecting, and then they immediately score points equal to the size of that set. So the first souvenir is 1 point for this player. That second one will be 2 points. Third one is 3 points, and so on. Money is the same way. That's why they scored 1 point. If they acquire another coin, they will make 2 points, and so on. So green scores 1 point, is leading with 2. It's my turn. I could go to the temple, but that's where you donate money to get some points. I only have the 5 that I started with. I'm gonna need it, and there's an encounter right here. So I think I obviously jump ahead to the encounter, and that is where I'm going to have the encounter and also get an extra victory point and coin. So my encounter is with Anaibito, who gives me a sea panorama card. So I start my sea panorama. I'm gonna just kind of put it here. I'm a little tight on camera space on this game, I'm not going to lie. So I'm overlapping the board a little bit with my stuff. So I gained that sea panorama card, and I'll just start a discard pile off camera. And I score a point, putting me at 1, and I gain a coin, putting me at 6 coins, and I do get a point for that first part of my sea panorama. I'm a budding artist. I've got to say, the coziest part of it all is the scotch that I've poured myself. I've made the mistake of not taking a sip off camera. I usually do that so I don't have that initial reaction, so forgive me a second. Whew. Yep, that's neat. That's some strong stuff that'll keep me warm in the rain. Cheers. Okay. I've taken my turn. Yellow is going to go next. Yellow is going to use the next preference card from the same deck. 1 range. That means yellow is going to the temple. So when an Automa goes to the temple, they take 2 coins from the supply and donate them, scoring 2 points just like they were a player. So the temple is where at the end of the game there's bonus points for who's donated the most. So I'm already behind on that. We'll see if I decide to claw that back or consider those points lost. The next turn is going to be the green player because they are in the back. So another 2 range preferring inns. So they could go to paint the patty panorama, I believe. It's like rice patties. Or go to a hot spring. They don't have a preference. Preference is based on what they already have the most of. So they're just going to go to the closest space. And so they will take 1 piece of the patty panorama, scoring 1 point. Yellow goes next. 2 spaces with a preference for temples, but there are no temples. They have no other preferences, so they will go to the hot spring, taking a card, gaining a point. It's my turn, since I'm at the back. So now I've got to think about this. I could start a mountain panorama. I could go to a farm and get 3 more coins and be kind of set for life on money. But I'm getting money from encounters. I just don't want to jump 5 spaces ahead to the next encounter because that's just, it's going to give them too many turns. So I'll just go ahead and I'll start the mountain panorama also. So I will move there, take a mountain panorama piece. That's worth 1 point to me. And next turn, green has a range of 1. It's just going to go to the farm. The Automa don't gain 3 coins at the farm. They just gain 1. So it's going to take a coin, score 2 points. Next up is yellow. 3 spaces. Preference for the things that they already have 1 of. So hot springs or farms would be a preference. They don't have any of these things that these spaces are for. Temple is always reduced preference, and so it's going to go to get a souvenir. So it'll take its first souvenir. 1 point for yellow. I'm already in last place. This is going great. Okay, but I'm next. So I could go to the temple and donate. It's basically the same question as before, temple and donate, but there's an encounter here and those are very powerful for me, so I'm gonna jump to that. I meet Kuge. Oh, I get 3 coins. Okay. That puts me at 9 coins. I have money for a while. Also, I get a 10th coin from my ability and a victory point. And that is done. Okay, green player. 3 spaces with a preference for temples. Wow, okay, so he'll go to the temple. He's going to donate 2 coins from the supply, gain 2 points. Yellow player. 2 spaces. Yellow has a preference for hot springs but can't quite reach it. Doesn't have a preference between these panoramas, so we'll go to the closest one and paint a part of the sea panorama for 1 point. Green goes again and has a range of 3. Prefers neither of these things, so we'll just go start their mountain panorama. That's 1 point. And it's on me. Do I want to get in first to the inn, which has some benefits that you'll see if you're not familiar? Or do I want to go to the hot spring and get some points and then end up last? I have enough money that I'm not going to be picky about what I eat. The risk of getting to the inn last is that you don't have the money to afford any food there. And food is worth 6 points, which is like, that's more points than I have the whole game so far. So you don't want to miss the opportunity to eat. Whew. That's scotchy. Okay, I'm gonna risk it though, because I have the money to afford food kind of no matter what. So I'll go to the hot spring. I drew a 2-point hot spring card, so I'm just going to, I'm gonna hold on to that. Actually, that reminds me, I'm gonna hold on to my encounters too. They're just off camera here. They're not that important, but they do matter for some achievements at the end. Who did the most of those things? So 2 points for the hot spring, and that's because it says 2 points on it. They're either 2 or 3 points. Okay, at this point, the Automa don't really need their cards because you always stop at the inn. So yellow's going to go to the inn, then green is going to go to the inn, and then I will get there last. And that's a quarter of the game. You can see this is going to go by fast. I think it's cool how snappy it is, which is good because it's so lightweight. I wouldn't want it to like outlast its welcome, I guess, kind of. Stay past its welcome. What's that figure of speech? Why can't I outstay your welcome? Anyway. Okay, so in the order we arrived, everyone's going to buy some food. I should have left a little bit more space here for their food and achievement cards. Okay, that should be plenty. All right, so the food is some tofu, some donberry, some tempura, and sushi. Okay, so they are each going to buy one of the cheapest options. So sushi for yellow, and that's 6 points, puts them at 12. Tofu for green, and that is 6 points, puts them at 14. And then I need to buy one of these. I'll spend 2 on the tempura, and that is 6 points for me, putting me at 12. Okay, and then we leave the inn in the opposite order we arrived. So I go first and have some decisions to make. I could go to the temple and catch up on my donations, tie them, but I think I'd really like to focus on, you can get a lot of points if you get all the sea panoramas. So I think I'm gonna grab that. It also blocks something that yellow would want. Yellow would probably go for that if no one else does. Okay, so I'm just gonna move here, paint part 2 of my sea panorama, and that's worth 2 points for me. 1, 2. Okay, green. Oh, the other thing I should have done at the end is shuffle the Automa cards. So I just need a second there. Yeah, it's really snappy. Like, I think that especially if I wasn't on camera narrating my play so that you could better understand it, it's probably a 20-minute game. And when you play this solo, like, I think that's the right amount of time for it. Okay. So who did we say was going? Green has a range of 2. And is going to, they have a reduced preference for the temple unless it says otherwise, so they're going to go for the farm. That would be their preference anyway, since they have 2 of those and 1 of everything else. So they'll go to the farm, get a 3rd coin and 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Next, yellow will have a range of 1, so yellow will go to the temple. Damn, I was kind of hoping they'd skip the temple and I could slide in there, but oh well. They've donated 4. And get 2 points for that. I'm up. Okay, I don't really care about the patty panorama. I do like the idea of continuing my mountain, or obviously I do like an encounter, but I'd have to skip so many spaces. I'm not sure it's worth that. It's the only encounter on this run, though. I think I'll just go ahead and do the mountain. I'm going to probably just skip, try to specialize a little bit, skip the patty panorama if I can this game. Focus on the mountain. I'll get part 2 of that, and that's worth 2 points for me. Holding up in second place. Okay, yellow has 1 range, so it's going to take 1 piece of the patty panorama. That's fine. They can have 1 point. Green has a range of 2, but has a reduced preference for the temple, so they're going to go have an encounter. So that's a piece of that set for them. 1 point. And yellow goes again now, because I did jump an empty space. Has 3 spaces. It doesn't want to go to the temple, so it could go to the hot springs or to the mountain panorama, but since it has more hot spring cards already, it will go for that one. So hot springs takes its second card, gets 2 points. That puts me in last. But it is my turn. So do I swing by the temple? I think I probably should here. And then I can do one more thing on the way to the inn, guaranteed. Otherwise, I'd skip it. Green probably goes there. Maybe goes there, depending on what their range is this turn. I need to get in there. I'm going to move to the temple. I think I'll go ahead and donate 3 coins, and that puts me in second place. Can I hold second place? This is tricky, because I definitely want to donate before the end of the game, because the points for first, second, and third place donations are 10, 7, and 4. And you only get the 4 if you've donated something, so I definitely want to donate at least 1. The question is, could I just donate 1 and call it there and be content with that? And just lock in those 4 points and kind of let them waste their time racking up more coins later. I think I like that. I'm going to try that. So I'm going to donate a single coin. I do score 1 point for it. And I'm going to leave it there and avoid the temples. That's going to be what I'm going to try. So it means I'll be at a 6-point deficit to the player who donates the most. So I've got to I need to keep, what am I saying? I need a lead at the end of the game, not just to be neck and neck with them. I need to be ahead. Okay. And I have how many coins? 7 coins? All right. Green is going to go next. 3 range. And green does care about the mountains. They would love to go to the farm and get their 4th coin, but they can't. Souvenir or mountains, they'll take the closest thing. They will paint the mountains. And that's worth 2 points for green. Okay, I'm back up. So I could paint part 3 of the sea. I could go shopping for souvenirs. I do need to do that at some point, I think. So many points come from souvenirs that I don't think you can pass them up. But if I go to the sea, I'm more likely to get in first on food. And it's like I could go shopping, spend a bunch of money, and then end up buying more expensive food because I'm late to the inn. So I'd run through a lot of money. Or I can kind of do the safe thing, get some points from the sea, and save money. I think I'm going to do that. I hope this pays off. Okay, I'm going to go to the sea, paint part 3 of my panorama. Getting a little cramped here. It's fine. And that's worth 3 points for me. So that brings me up to be tied with the lead. And now yellow moves 1 space, goes and buys a souvenir. That is its 2nd souvenir, 2 points for yellow. Green has a range of 2 and wants to go straight to the inn. Okay, so green, wow, this worked well for me. Or bad for green, I guess you could say. Green would have loved to go to the farm and get a 4th coin and 4 points. But this card says they sprint to the inn, so first one in, which is great for them. Now, okay, it's well worth me going to the farm. Because if I go to the inn and get their 2nd, I could save a coin. I could get cheaper food, save a coin, but I'm gonna get 3 coins at the farm. I should just go to the farm. So I'll gain 3. That puts me up to 10 coins. I probably have plenty of coins, especially if I get a couple more from my ability with encounters. Okay, yellow. I don't think this matters. No, it doesn't. Yellow goes to the inn, then I go to the inn. Halfway point. Okay. Give their deck a quick shuffle, and then we'll do the food. And maybe, so there's an achievement at the end of the game for whoever spent the most on food. Maybe I want to try to snag that. It's just 3 points, but Tokaido is usually a very close game. So 3 points, even though like scores are, 80, 3 doesn't seem like a lot. It's like the gaps is usually narrow. Okay, well, let's look at the options. Green will buy the cheapest one. Oh, they're all cheap. Well, okay. Green will buy a Nigiri Meishi. So will yellow. And so will I. That's going to cost me a coin. And that's going to give everyone 6 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for green and purple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for yellow. And we're back to it. I am leaving first. I don't think I care about the rice patty. Oh, it's shopping or encounter. And I think I got to keep doing encounters. I definitely want to stay in the lead and get that achievement. If I'm the encounter specialist and I don't get the achievement for having the most encounters at the end of the game, that would be a big loss. I'm probably not winning that game. Achievements are all just worth a small handful of points. I think maybe always 3 points, by the way. It's not like it's not a meta achievement like an Xbox achievement that I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the encounter. Oof. It feels bad, but I'm going to lean into my character and do it. It is Anibito again. This is going to paint me another sea panorama piece. That's actually like a pretty good pull. So that's the 4th piece of my sea panorama. I'm going to score 5 points total, 1 from my ability and 4 from the panorama. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I get a coin from my ability. And then I just need to stop at 1 more sea space to max out my sea panorama and get that achievement. That's feeling pretty good. Yellow goes next. Yellow has a range of 2 and has has more souvenirs. So they want to go shopping, and they will take a 3rd souvenir for 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Green goes up to 3 spaces and prioritizes temples, but there is not one within 3 spaces. So based on what they have here, they're going to prioritize the farm because they already have 3 of those. So 1, they're going to go here. Wow, no one did the rice patty. It's rare in Tokaido that just everyone skips a space. But that is how the Automa works. They're going to take their 4th coin and 4 points. I might have to start blocking some farms. I might need to block some farms so that they stop scoring so many points, which means I should spend my money, because if I have to block the farms, that means I'm getting even more money. Money I don't think is worth anything at the end of the game. So, all right, I got to get shopping and stuff. That's what needs to happen here. Okay, yellow is up. Yellow has a range of 1, so we'll paint a mountain panorama. That's their first, so that's not a lot of points. That's a pretty good outcome for me. They score 1 point. And next is going to be me. Well, a hot spring, other than competing for the number of hot springs, I have plenty of time to finish my sea panorama, so I'm not that worried about that either. I guess I go to the hot spring. I don't want to jump like all the way to this farm. Okay, I'll just go to the hot spring. I will get 2 points and save that, which could help with the achievement later. Keeps my lead. Green is up. Green moves up to 2 spaces, wants to go to the inn, but can't reach it. So green is looking at the sea or the patty panorama. Green likes the patties. So 2nd, that's 2 points. They almost have the achievement for completing that because it's just a 3-part painting, but that's fine. That's fine. And so that's there. There we go. Okay. Yellow just moves one space to the sea. All right, they get their second piece, 2 points. And I'm up. I could go to the temple, and I could actually, if I donate 3 coins, I tie for first place on donations. I was saying I need to use my money. I think I do that. I think I pivot. It's a strategy pivot that I didn't really expect to make. But yeah, it would tie me for first and score me 3 points and use some of the money that I'm saying I have too much of. Sure, let's do it. I'll go to the temple, donate 3 coins. It's going to get me 3 points. Okay, yellow is up and will move 1 space. They go to the farm. Great. They blocked it from green. This is like the best of all worlds. They do get 2 points for their second coin. And then green, move 1 space, does take the encounter. It would have been nice if they skipped it, but it is what it is. And they take their second encounter and 2 points. So I can go shopping, which I was also talking about doing. I could just finish my sea painting. I think I'll do that. I'll have opportunities to shop. This is like famous last words, right? I can't do it all. But the sea is so many points. It's really good. And shopping and then getting into the inn last, that would really run me out of money. Yeah, and then that kind of frees me up to do more encounters here at the end. Get a few extra points from those. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to the sea. I'm going to paint part 5 of my painting. What a gorgeous panorama. So that's worth 5 points. Also, there is an achievement over here for the first traveler to complete the sea panorama. Scores this achievement worth 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Did I do that off camera? Anyway, looks like this. It's the rock from part 4. Sweet. Okay, yellow's gonna go. Range of 3. They do want to go shopping. Woof, that's their 4th souvenir. They're starting to rack up points on those. 1, 2, 3, 4. Green has nowhere to go but the inn, and then I will go to the inn, and then yellow will go to the inn. So let's buy our food. Okay, we've got tofu for green, and then I can buy a soba for 2 coins. And soba for yellow. Everyone gets 6 points. I'm wondering if I should have spent more on that. I don't know. I can push forward at the end. You know what? No, let's do it. I'm gonna buy the tai meshi instead of the soba, spending an extra buck. And yeah, I think that'll be worth it. Okay. I don't have much for souvenirs anymore, but it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna get the achievement for eating the best food, and that's all I'm gonna need. Okay, everyone got 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for me. Yellow's at 37, goes to 43. Green is at 34, goes to 40. This is the kind of lead I was going for because I was expecting to lose the temple. I'm winning this time. Maybe when I lost my off-camera game, I learned something from it, because so far I feel like I'm actually kind of running away with this. Maybe. Let's see. Yellow goes first after I shuffle the out of my deck one last time. Here we go. All right. Two spaces, wants to go to the inn, can't do it, doesn't go to the temple unless specified, so yellow is going to go to the hot spring, get their 3rd hot spring. Ooh, that means I'm not winning that achievement. And that's the last no, there's one more hot spring of the whole trip. I could try to tie it. I don't know that that's important to me here. I go next. I could go to the temple and break this tie. I actually am not sure. I'm not sure how the game handles ties. I'm guessing you just both get the top. Let me see if I can quickly glance at that. The Let's see. In the event of a tie, all tied players score points from that rank. Okay, so we would both get 10 points. I think given that I'm winning, I'm fine with a tie. Hopefully they don't go to the temple and pass me. Oh, that's the risk, isn't it? It's fine. It's fine. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to hope that they draw cards that skip the temple. I will go to the encounter. Hopefully it's not another C panorama encounter. Shokunin, draw a souvenir card and add it to your collection. Okay, so for an encounter, I'm going to gain a coin, gain a point, because that's my special ability. And then I'm going to draw a souvenir. Kamaboko, it's some food. It's worth 1 point because it's the start of a set of souvenirs. So now I really want to go shopping. I think that increased my desire to go shopping before this game is over, so that I can get more in that set and get the higher sets of points. Hopefully I make that happen. For now, it's Green's turn. Green does go to the temple. That is increased temple priority. So they will go there, add 2 coins. Now it's a 3-way tie at the temple. And that's it. It's going to be a 3-way tie, right? There's no more temple spaces. That's fine. That's better than yellow going there. And speaking of yellow, they go up to 3 spaces. They prioritize shopping, though, because they have 4 souvenirs. So that's a shame. They're going to take their 5th souvenir and get 5 points. That's a lot of points. Okay. Green is next. 1 is going to have them at the C. Well, they blocked the C space, so I'm kind of glad I grabbed the one I could. That's just going to get them their first piece, though, for 1 point. Green is really falling behind. Okay. Boy, I don't think I care about the farm. And even if Green gets it now, they're so far behind, I don't care about blocking them that badly. So I think I'm going to go to the hot spring to try to tie for that achievement. I think that's worth doing. It also blocks it, and it would be worth 4 points to yellow. So let's do it. I'm going to draw a hot spring card. It's worth 2 points, so I will take 2. And that ties for the achievement at the end of the game. I think that that's a decent choice. All right, yellow. 2 spaces, farm or encounter. They have no encounter, so they will go for the farm, take their 3rd coin. That's worth 3 points. Tied up. Oh, boy. Green. 2 spaces, prioritizes temple. There aren't any. Do they want an encounter or a mountain? They are tied, so they're going to go for the closest thing, which is an encounter. All right, so they blocked me from having one last encounter. 3 points. And yellow's turn. Yellow's going to move 3 spaces, or has a range of 3, prioritizing temple. There are no temples. So what do they want to do? Of the 3 panoramas, they want to go to the C. So they jump up to there. That's great. I think that's a pretty good outcome. So they paint a 3rd part of the C panorama, scores them 3 points. They're in the lead now, but they're basically done for the game. Okay. I'm up. I think if I take this mountain, score those points, Green is very likely to go here. I can't think of what card Green would draw that would cause them to snipe the shopping for me. And I want to shop. So yeah, I can safely go to the mountain, paint part 3 of the mountain panorama. That's going to score me 3 points. It's Green's turn. Green has a range of 1. Okay, they go to the patty. That is worth 3 points to Green because it's their 3rd piece. And okay, well, that's a lot of points because 1, 2, 3 points, and they were the first one to get the 3 sections of the. Even though they're abstracted here, they do get the achievement for 3 parts of the painting. So 3 points to Green for that. Then I go, yeah, I'm gonna go shopping. I need to leave myself some money for food. But let's look at the top 3 cards of the souvenir deck. Not optimal here. So let's think about this. I'm definitely buying this Hashi. It's a fan symbol. It only costs 1 coin. It's my second symbol I've collected, so it's worth 3 points. The souvenirs are worth 1, 3, 5, 7 for your first, second, third, fourth different kind of suit on them. And then you can start new sets, but they start over again at 1, 3, 5, 7. So that's worth 3 points. 1, 2, 3. The question is it worth 3 coins to get 5 points from this? That means I would only be able to afford food if I get there last and there's still a 1 coin option left. I think that's too big a risk. Yeah, I think it's not the right play. So I will just buy this Ocha for 2 coins. That's still kind of a risk. And it would just be worth 1 point because it would be starting a new set. All right, I guess I buy nothing else. That was kind of a bad draw on souvenirs. That's a shame. Okay, everyone's just gonna move to the inn. Green is at the inn, yellow, purple. We're going to buy food cards in that order. Green takes what's cheapest. That's gonna be like the Moshishiro. Yellow is gonna take the Dango. And then I haven't eaten it yet. Since I have the money, I'm gonna go ahead and spend 3 coins on the Unagi. Because I want to buy the most expensive thing for the purposes of, also I've already had tempura, but I want it for the purposes of that achievement. So we all get 6 points, putting me at 66, yellow at 63, green at 56, and that's it. I'm going to clear these so that we can see the scoring track all the way around. Just clear out my paintings since they're not going to matter at this point in the game. We score the temple. Everyone is tied for 10 points. That's annoying that I had 1 coin left. If I had donated 1 more coin the first time I went to the temple, I would have had 5 to therefore blown them away. That's fine. We all got 10 points. So it puts me at 76, yellow at 73, green at, 56 to 66. And then there's just achievements. So nobody finished the mountain painting. That one's done. Let's see. Let's shuffle these up. We'll do them in a dramatic order. All right, we have Gourmet, the traveler who has the highest sum of coins on their meals. So I have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. The green player has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the yellow player has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did it pretty handily, so that's 3 points. Chatterbox, the traveler who has the most encounter cards. I have 4 to green's 3, so I get another 3 points. Collector, the traveler who has the most souvenir cards. And so this is funny. There's also an extra rule for the solo mode that souvenir cards for the Automa are doubled for this purpose. So they count as 2 cards each. And that's because I guess every time you stop at a green spot, they get 1 card and you can buy as much as 3. So it sort of makes it a little more competitive. That said, that means that yellow has 10 to my 2. So no brainer, yellow scores collector 3 points. And Bather, the traveler who has the most hot springs cards. We tie 3 points each. Me and yellow. That's it. With a score of 85 to yellow's 79 and green's 66. I kind of wiped the floor with them this time. That feels nice. There are modifiers to difficulty. So like if I were to play this again, maybe I would try, there's a little deck of, it's just a little deck of the different types of spaces. If you want to increase difficulty, you just say like, okay, I'm going to draw 2 of these for each Automa, and they will start with those things. So they just start with an extra point per card basically, and also +1 points every subsequent time they get that thing. So they'll just score a little higher. I haven't tried it. I don't know how much harder that makes it, but it seems like they'd probably just end up scoring, I don't know, 3 to 5 more points per one of those cards. So I maybe would have beaten a difficulty of +1, but maybe not +2. Something like that. I like the solo mode a lot. I think that it really does, you fly through it fast. You're not having to burn your brain just following the Automa script. It's quite simple, and it mirrors the experience of playing against real players pretty well, where you're having to, I mean, like I said, Tokaido's a light game. A lot of the time you're just doing what you want anyway, but there is some nuance to blocking what other people want or taking things you expect them to go to, stuff like that. And this mirrors that pretty well. That said, is Tokaido, which is sort of just a light modern classic game, something that I want to jam a bunch of solo games of personally? Probably not. So I don't know that I'm gonna play this much more. I could see busting it out if I'm like traveling with family and bring Tokaido for everyone to play, especially now that the box is smaller. And then, you know, I'm the last one still awake some nights, so I play a couple games of it solo. So yeah, it's very cool. It's very cool. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that I won in the one that I filmed. That always is a boost to the reputation and self-esteem, you know. With that, I'm gonna call it there. Thank you again, Stonemaier Games, for providing this copy. Appreciate it. Like I said, this video is probably going up after, at least after Christmas, maybe before or after New Year's, but regardless, happy holidays. I hope that you had an amazing time with friends and family or by yourself. I'm home, it's just me and my husband and the dog's home for Christmas, and we really like it that way. It's so nice and so chill. So very excited for that myself here, and just to stay cozy, stay out of the rain. So, all right, that's going to do it. That's not going to do it. I don't think I suggested at any point in this video, because I'm a terrible YouTuber, hit the like button below this video. Maybe subscribe to the channel. We play through all sorts of games. It's not usually solo. It's actually usually me and friends, and we have a great time and hopefully have fun banter, all that kind of stuff. So please hit those buttons below the video. We really appreciate it. Okay, finally, we're going to end it. Happy holidays. Until next time, be optimal.